What is going on with Germaine Pratt? Why hasn't he been cut yet? Why is he still on the roster? What are the Bengals doing? Well, actually, here's the thing. The Bengals front office is very smart. Okay. That was a joke. The Bengals front office, though, is being very smart in this situation. Because there's no way we're going to keep him, by the way. $8.183 million. They're not going to keep Germaine Pratt. He is also a guy who is, we talked about before, 99.9999% he's going to get cut, right? But the Bengals have time. And that's the luxury that not many NFL teams and not many times in the NFL do you have the luxury of time. But they have the luxury of time with Germaine Pratt. He's on his last year of his contract. He's already said he wants to be traded. There's already been sources that, this guy's going to get cut. And you might say, well, maybe they're waiting till June 1st. And that was my speculation as well, right? Wait till June 1st. That's when they're going to cut him. Blah, 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 whatever. But here's the thing. They tried trading him. Nobody wanted him. Reason why nobody wants him is because they know we're going to cut him. If the Bengals hold him on their roster, go into training camp, and keep Germaine Pratt on their roster, he's not going to practice, right? Which, again, doesn't really big deal for us because we want to see the guys who actually are going to be on our roster, and we want those guys to practice. But we're pretty much going to, in a context here, hold him hostage until someone else on another team goes down with injury. If another player on another linebacker on another team, someone gets hurt in training camp and someone goes down, that team's going to be a lot more amped to try to trade for Germaine Pratt. If we cut Germaine Pratt, we get nothing. Nobody wants to trade for the guy. So either our options are cut him now, save the $8.183 million, which right now seems like wouldn't help us because Bengals don't seem eager to spend that extra cap space we have. Or option 2, have him on the roster because you have a 90-man roster right now. You know you're going to cut him no matter what anyway. But hold off. Hold off until training camp. See if anyone gets injured. See if anyone goes down. And if they do, try to flip him for a 7th round pick. And I think that's what they're trying to do. Based on what I've read and understand, that's kind of the mindset here. Cut him now, you don't save anything. You already know you're going to cut him. But wait, because you have the time to wait, and potentially you get something in return. Because, again, nobody wants to trade for him. Based on what I've heard, they tried to trade him to the Colts, wasn't interested. They tried to trade him all over the place, wasn't interested. Now, of course, that could be the Bengals being the Bengals here and asking for too much for Germaine Pratt. Asking maybe, potentially, a, starting linebacker trade value. But it's also the factor that people know we're going to cut him. It's already been revealed. We're going to cut Germaine Pratt. He's already posted on Twitter, his, bloodshot emojis or whatever he posted. He posted some, blood emojis on Twitter after the news came out that we were going to get rid of him. So, again, all these things, writing's on the wall. Now, you might say, well, if that's the case, then why, even if a guy gets injured, let's say a linebacker goes down for a team, why would they trade for him then? Why not just wait? Well, the reason why you trade is because you don't want to bid against other teams, right? You don't want to fight against other teams, and that would be a reason why you would trade for him, is because, let's say, for example, you lose your starting linebacker, and you're like, okay, if he hits free agency, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get him, because other teams are going to be interested in Germaine Pratt. So that's the idea, you trade to get ahead of free agency. Although, whoever does, if we did trade him, they would also have to give him a new contract. I don't think anyone wants him to play on that $8.183 million contract. Again, there's a lot of stipulations, but that's pretty much the moral of the story here. Why is he still on the roster? Could they be waiting for June 1st to cut him? Absolutely. But they actually might be smart. Now, if they cut him on June 1st, everything I just said proves more why they might not be smart. But again, like I said, who knows? The Bengals front office has surprised us in many ways this offseason, in many ways in the past. So we're sitting here theorizing ideas, and they might just be like, oh, yeah, no, we did not even consider that. So that's kind of the growing suspicion, because if not, you would just cut him, right? You would just get rid of him. It's not like Germaine Pratt really has any purpose being on his team anymore. I love, and by the way, this is, if someone's talking about Germaine Pratt, I don't hate Germaine Pratt. I love Germaine Pratt. I really do. I think he's a great player. I don't really like the whole him bragging about being the top 10 in tackling, yet our team definitely was struggling last year. But still, again, I love Germaine Pratt, what he did for us, that interception in the playoffs, absolutely amazing. But, everything good comes to an end, right? And this is a situation where you moved on. But, guys, tell me down below your thoughts, opinions. I'll see you guys in the next one.